This guitar was one of my, this was the second patent I did. This was the surfboard style, where we actually start with a piece of wood down the center, glue the wings on, and then shape it, form it, just like a surfboard. And this was a good stepping stone to get to my final one, which was the Electrolyte series, which we'll go into in a bit. But the weight's incredible. This guitar weighs about 6 pounds. Yeah, this will do circles around Les Paul. Some of my sales reps, they define this as a Les Paul on steroids without the weight. And it's really, it speaks for itself. It's incredible.
And also I love the heel. You got a very, very well contoured heel, and you're using ferrules as opposed to a plate. Yes. Very comfortable and beautifully finished too. I mean, it's very nice. It's very light. It feels very comfortable. And yet it looks like a wood guitar from the front. I mean, it's amazing.
This is a real veneer flamed maple top on here. It's actually matchbooked, so you couldn't tell.
It's very well. The seam is very nice actually.
If you didn't know what this was made of, you would think it's made of swamp ash because it's so light. But they're incredible though. The sound is unsurpassable.
You got all kinds of goodies actually on this one. Can you tell us more about this?
This one here, the way I wired this one to where when this is down and you're up in the neck position, this is actually a single coil, which all their 89s are designed. So when you're playing and you pull this out, now it goes into a humbucking. So now you've got like a Les Paul sound. So then you go down, you can have the bottom humbucking, or you can have this up and have all four pickups going at one time. Because there's two coils in this one as well. And on the back here on this particular one, we've got the afterburner, which is something we helped design for EMG, which gives you 20 more decibels of more power, actual power you can roll on. This goes from 0, and the more you roll it on. So basically, you can be up here in the neck position, in a single coil position, pull this out to activate the afterburner, roll this on until you get a nice clean, just so it starts to distort, and you get like a natural distortion on it. But without, not so muddy though. It's very clean. This is the lovely Darcy Dondovan. This will be one of her limited signature series that we're doing for her also as well. Right now we're in production. We're going to be making about 300 of these for her. And very lovely, actually a very talented lady.
Still the very nice contoured heel.
Yes. All my guitars have this. I actually picked up this idea when I was working for Valley Arts Guitars in 1994. And I love the idea so much that we incorporated, actually I did a few modifications and put this on all of our guitar bodies, as well as the body through ferrules. And the reason is because when you put your strings through here and they go through, you're picking up all that tone from the body. So this goes right through the centerpiece in here, and actually helps it sustain and gives it unbelievable tone. This is actually a top and back shell. And at one stage, when this is opened up, we actually glue the insert to the top half, and then after that sets up, then we epoxy. This has an edge around here. We actually use a high strength epoxy, which molds it together as one piece. And then at that point, now we have options where we can leave it semi-hollow, or we can inject foam up into these upper cavities up to here, back here, up here, or we can there's so many variations. We can do it half semi, half foam, whatever you want. Or a lot of people prefer leave it, semi-hollow with no foam at all. On some of our newer ones, I don't have any here, but we're putting sound holes up here, like a little F-hole, so it actually lets it breathe and sound better. So that's just one thing about these. It's unlimited what we can do with these. Different types of foam. You can use more dense foam, lighter foam, but we tend to use to stick to like a packing foam, which is it's nice and light, and actually because it'll have a little ring to it, and sometimes in certain situations you might get some feedback. So if we add just a little bit of foam up here in the top horn and the back contour, it'll take that all the way out completely and actually tone the guitar down a bit.
So what made you think originally that making a body out of composite material would be better or equal or better than wood?
Well,
so you say it started with a dream, but what was the dream about?
I had a dream I had a real light guitar. And so the next day I got up and I actually built the body out of styrofoam and ran some wood doweling through the body and put a neck on it and strung it up, and about 2 minutes later it snapped in half. And so from there I started messing around with different foams and plastics, and so the first patent I did, the guitar body was made with ethafoam, which is like what a boogie board is made of, and then we fabricated that in Centra, which is like a PVC plastic. But a lot of work, a lot involved, but we got it patented, and that got us our foot in the door for the synthetic bodies. And then from there it went. I was actually working for a friend of mine making boats. Actually, they did the molding there, and so I had him take an old body I had. We made a mold off it, and started molding the guitar bodies just like a boat was made. I've had every member sign this body. I was working in the music video industry and took this on location with me, and had them all sign these over about a 2-year period. So it's kind of special. I may build it someday. I might just sell it. Who knows?
Did Eddie Van Halen have an opportunity to try one of your guitars?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. Awesome. So I used to work with those guys back in the '80s, and actually '78. Known him for quite a while, and yeah, he's seen him, but he with some of his endorsement deals, he pretty much can't touch nothing else.
Yeah, it's true.
He can touch me, he just can't be seen with.
Sure. So this one is the next one.
Yeah.
Very interesting shape.
Yeah. This was our ultralight series. It's a rigid foam. It's about a 10-pound density foam. Exactly what they use in surfboards. The thing with this one here is the wood. The wood goes down the center, and where the pickups lie out, we actually dadoed out the wood and replaced it with foam, and we called that was our sound reservoir. So basically now, when we cut these out, now your pickup is surrounded with the wood on the bottom and all the foam around the outside. So this whole guitar is literally sealed airtight, except for these pickup cavities, and which would drive the tones right to the pickups. That is the only escape for the tones to come out.
I see.
This one here, I had met a gentleman a few years back, and he was making valve covers and oil pans for drag cars, for racing cars, out of this synthetic composite. And so, about 12 years later, I decided, I had the money, I'm gonna try to do a mold out of this. And so I contacted him. By then, he had moved to North Carolina, and so he had the idea. And what we did, my original concept was to put the wood in the mold and have the mold already shaped to the guitar body, close up around the wood, and then inject all this, which we did. The material came out a little heavier than I wanted, so we decided this isn't going to work. Maybe later down the road we can come up with a lighter material, or maybe we can add more of a foaming agent to expand it more. But for now, we just squashed this and went to the same idea, but instead of molding it around the wood, we just molded just the top and bottom half of the body, and then thus the Electrolyte series was born. And that's what this one here, this guitar body here, is pretty much the same shape, but this is also in 2 halves, where we actually molded the control cavity in here. This is actually a front and a back side. This, like I said, this is the same thing. We actually glue. It's kind of like, this is actually kind of like the original one, where we hand laminated the body like a boat. So basically, we're skipping that now, and now it's all done by machine. So when this is open now, we put the wooden insert is CNC'd exactly. We're talking now to really tight tolerances, and so we glue it to the front side first, so that way when we cut these neck pockets in, we get zero tolerances, no air gaps at all. That's the most important part. And then of course then the back goes on, and then we use a high strength epoxy that goes around it. Now the epoxy we use was very difficult to find, but after we did many research hours of researching, and we found one that would work good, that would hold us together to where I can slam this on the ground and it will never come apart. And that was one of my biggest issues, is making sure when these go out, we don't want them coming back. The base of the neck will be this composite material. It'll have a regular wooden fingerboard on there. Most likely we're going to go with the stainless steel frets. So like I said, once they're set up and they're dressed and leveled, you'll never have the problem. The neck will never twist or warp, just like the bodies. It'll outlast us. Oh yeah. Yeah, I've got Davey Johnstone with Elton John. He's been playing them for about 7 years now. Bob Birch, bass player with Elton John, he also plays, not exclusively, but they do have them in their arsenal. Aaron McLean and Urban Perez with the Mark Anthony Band, guitar and basses. They've been playing them for about 8 years. The list goes on. John Hernandez, who's the drummer with Oingo Boingo, but he also plays guitar now. He's been playing them for quite a while. It goes on, just on and on. Here, this actually was built for David Hines from Steel Pulse, and this became an experiment because originally I had the 5-way switch up here where they are traditionally, and he complained because it was he's always knocking off. So I said, you know what? So while they were here for a three-day tour. So I took the guitar and I routed this in the back, and then built a control cavity to reach so I can get to the access there, and built it for him, and which gave me an idea to do that to all my guitars. If you see the new electrolyte bodies, where that the 5-way switch is actually molded in the back now. About 80 to 90% of the people like it. There's a handful that they'd rather have it here, but I go with what the majority wants.
Sure. Who's the girl around this lucky guitar?
That there is Terry Weigel. She's a film star, and she's been endorsed with us for about 5 years also. And she plays the Millennium models which is this body here, because it's very light and it's easy to hold and kind of molds right to your body. And when you got a body like that, you want it to mold to you.
Exactly. So how she plays well?
She plays pretty good. Yeah, she's been learning a lot, and her shows are more show, but she does play though, as well as Darcy. Darcy, she sings and she plays also as well.
Awesome. So these girls have many talents.
Not just acting.
Yeah, exactly.
Many ideas, and like we've got some things we're working on now with some fiber optic lighting, LED lighting, because at one stage on this we can actually put your name inside with tracer fiber optic lights, your band name, whatever, because we have plenty of room to put your battery, all the electronics inside, as well as I have a model I'm working on also that has an onboard wireless system built in it. So when you buy the guitar, you're going to get a matched receiver with it. So you get the guitar, you put the battery in, bing, you turn it on, plug in your receiver, you have nothing hanging on you, it's all built in the guitar.
Wow, that's awesome. So, assuming the world doesn't come to an end in 2012, we're going to see a lot of new Farnell guitars, right?
Absolutely.
Right on.
Absolutely. Yay!